Yun pin penem maestro na mawakam yamanim maitakwea makpapaitina. Today we'll learn about the genuine Maidu parts that are prefixes to the word that come before the root in the word. Then we'll listen to a recording of Roxie Peconom this time, talking about her experiences with evil spirits. Finally, I'm going to give you instructions on writing your story and sending it to me. Turn to page 58 in your Modern Maidu workbook. Here you can see the puzzle pieces showing how a prefix is added on at the beginning of a word, right before the word root. The most common type of prefix is a noun object. Here are some examples of words we already have in our dictionary with a noun prefix. The noun comes first and acts as the object of the verb. It's usually short, one syllable, and shortened if it's two syllables. Hun means hunt. Sumi is deer. Sumi plus hun, hunt, is sumhun, hunt deer. Notice how the end of sumi is cut off when it's prefixed onto the front of a verb like hun. Here's another one. Bo, road. Cheye, look towards. That becomes bo cheye, which means wait. Look towards the road is wait. Bo cheye. Buku is tail. Buk, whistle, wag the tail. Buk whistle. Notice how buku, tail, gets cut off at the end, becomes buk. Hune is cut. Cha huneka is an axe, saw, or could be a lumberjack, something or somebody who cuts wood. Topai means set fire to. Cha topai, hesi maikare. Burn off brush, like the yearly burnings they used to have. Wulut means stack or pile up. Cha wulut, stack wood. Ti is clothes. Ti wii means be naked, be without clothes. So let's make up some new words. When we make up new words, I'm always saying, what if you wanted a word for such and such? Yawi is one way of saying word, yawi. Then ya means create or make, like in koroyapem, world maker. That ya is the create or make part. Yawi yaharom, yawi yape'e, hesi maikare. Yawi yaharom, yawi yape'e. If we want a word, let's make a word up. Yawi yaharom, yawi yape'e. Now to say, if we want a word that means put out a fire, let's invent it. How do you say a word that means? Yawi maipe. Yawi maipe. Yawi put out a fire maipe. That is a word that means put out a fire. Bebam wep. Yawi put out a fire maipe. Bebam wep. Yawi put out a fire maipe yaharom yape'e. If we want a word for put out a fire, let's all invent one. Yape'e. Hesan udom yamaka. How will you create it? Bebamoye hesan udom yamaka. If you want a word for put out a fire, how will you go about creating it? Bebemoyep, yawi put out a fire maipe yahadom, hesanudom yamaka. So now I'll ask you how you will invent a word for put out a fire. Yawi put out a fire maipe yahadom, hesanudom yamaka. To put out or extinguish something, hukinuka, bukuiti. Put out a fire, sa bukuiti. Bebamweb, sa bukuiti. Hukinumankano, that objects don't end in M. The fire is not doing the action, so no M on sa bukuiti. On page 57 in the Modern Maidu workbook, the third one from the bottom, wukusto, cut. That's kind of a different kind of cut from hune. Wukusto is like trim. Lawn, if you want to be really specific, is sawim koyo, vegetation meadow. But you can shorten it to sawi, vegetation or green plants. Yawi, mow the lawn, maipe yahadom, hesanudom yamaka. Sawi wukusto, mow the lawn. You could shorten it more to sawukusto. Bebamwep, sawukusto. Now go to page 58. The sixth one down. Bodoiti means cause to come out, cause something to come out. Yawi pump out water maipe yahadom, hesanudom yamaka. Momi is water, but you can shorten it to mom when you add it on as a prefix to bodoiti. Mom bodoiti. Bebamwep, mom bodoiti. Pump out water. Now go to page 59, the fourth one from the bottom. Tikchemen means not believe or not go along with. Ma is law. Yawi break the law maipe yahadom, hesanudom yamaka. Ma tikchemen. Break the law, not go along with the law. Ma tikchemen. Now, you don't want to use a Maidu word for break, like English break the law. That wouldn't make sense in Maidu because break the law is an English idiom. You're not physically breaking something. You're disobeying. Tikchemen means not trust, not believe, not listen, or not obey. Next one down. Bati means flatten. That should be spelled like it is on the screen, not the way I spelled it in the book. Bat means be flat. Then you have to add T to make it flatten. Makeka. Kawi means earth or ground. Yawi bulldoze maipe yahadom, hesanudom yamaka. Kaubati, bulldoze, flatten the ground. Kaubati. Yawi do laundry maipe yahadom, hesanudom yamaka. Chi chukut, do laundry, wash clothes. Yawi laundromat maipe yahadom, hesanudom yamaka. Chi chukutka. Chi chukutkudi at the laundromat. Bebam wep. Chi chukutkudi okoikan. He went off to the laundromat. Now go to page 60. Third one from the top. Wadumdao means toss aside. Yawi plow snow maipe yaharam, hesanudom yamaka. Ko wadumdao, toss snow aside. Ko wadumdao. Adombe hesi maikade ko wadumdao ke. A snowplow. For spelling, do you write it as one word or two? Many of the examples in this lesson have longer words or even more than one word as the object. For these, I would recommend spelling them as separate words for sure from the verb. And it's your choice whether to add the shorter ones on the front of the word or make them a separate word. Just be aware that Shipley and Dixon usually joined these nouns when they were short onto the front of the verb as a prefix. Now skip over to page 71 where it says 4F, using have and not have. These word roots ending in k are actually verbs, not nouns. It's the verb have, which is either spelled ku or k. So 5 examples of words already in the dictionary. Ya could have a name. Te could have a child or be pregnant. Te could have children. Yep could have a husband. Hubo could have a house. Let's go to page 72 and invent some words. First one, Yawi have a fence maipe yaharom, hesanudom yamaka. Duke. Fifth one down, Yawi have a bathroom maipe yaharom, hesanudom yamaka. Pitim uyike. Notice this is one of those with 2 words as the object, pitimuyi. So you definitely at least write the pitim as a separate word. 10th one down, Yawi have fleas, maipe yaharam, hesanudom yamaka. Tukuska, have fleas. Tukuska. Page 72 under 4G. What if you want to say not have? Instead of saying men like you might think, you say we, totally separate word, we, not have or lack. We, not have a fence. We, not have a bathroom. Pitim uyi, not have fleas. Tukus we. Now, even though k and we can have all the regular verb endings like dom and onkano, usually the ending is pem, and then you use a form of kakan. You've already seen this. My dog has fleas. Niki sum tukuskupen kakan. How would you ask, does your dog have fleas? Minki sum tukuskupen makare? How would you say, no, my dog doesn't have fleas? We nikisum tukus we penkakan. Did you remember not to use k and men? Yahakan. Now ask, Does her yard have a fence? Muki koyom tu kupem makare? Now answer. No, her yard doesn't have a fence. Wiye muki koyom tu wipen kakan. So today we've covered the most important parts of lessons 3 and 4 in the Modern Mighty workbook. But I would encourage you to delve down a little deeper on your own. In lesson 3, there are longer objects with more than one word. These are like little sentences, which turn out to be a valuable tool for making up new words. Besides noun objects, there are other kinds of prefixes, even though you may not use them to make up new words. For example, we've seen maha, carry with the hand. It's not carry the hand, it's carry with the hand. So that's a little different from just a regular direct object. And there are also words made up of 2 verbs, as we've seen. Chehe, look plus chase, meaning look all around. There's a word muhun, shoot, hunt, where you're hunting with a gun or a bow and arrow. Muhun, mu meaning shoot, hun meaning hunt. Mainly, just be aware that not all prefixes are noun objects. But for making up new words, you're mostly going to use the noun object prefixes. Now let's listen to a recording of Roxie Peconom telling about something that happened to her.
Jesus aika kanssa skapti kodoja peke on niin kaui meivon on amaadi aika enkes amaan se vuolen teki vei hakan be amaadi kokas piin teetyt vuonodom piivaak vuonom amaakokan kureses pem jakkasma Nikiheskynkulem. Beiduk jo miipemma donka kannik diknosmani. Muki uidydik waaku diknosmani. Kakanni saa. Madi. Muki tui kudit tuiasmani saajat. Jukkukdom jakkatidam nik mehbodoivono. Suolulumma tijo jamniki. Amaakakannik busapdom soldom Chinamaan. Uninglenan Chinamaan avonomniki. Amanikakanik sovono. Aiten kannik panikakas piikupem. Adomnik sitten panim pekitsi meivona. Uni panpedom. Hesan teuet hon veinu pada. On veinu maankanoa vonomnik. Kuda sudommat amen penkakas mun pani panpevona. Hon vein min kitta valmaankanoa vononkakannik pani meidon. Amaanika kasmakum on veinudo. Kulumani tuidon kas tuikitdom. Jaham ekda koinnik. Me yemaankano. Hesamen kun kodo amaapenkakas. Hestimat ujomen maakasi amaape. Jahati, jam tuujano maakas, uja penkakassi. Kan niitä kuveijesi, kan veija boskassi.
Now let's go through the recording line by line. First sentence.
Jesus ike aika kanse. Skakti kodoja peke on niin kaui meivonom.
You've learned about pe words, words that end in pe, being either active or passive. They can be both. And also a verb ending in wonum shows completion and can also be active or passive, like the words ending in pe. If the meaning is passive, you're going to look for another word in the sentence ending in ki. So the active meaning of wono with kakan is ended up doing. The passive meaning is had been done. If you find a word nearby ending in ki, you'll know who it was done by. Remember? Hukinuka? Kakan nise koroya peki anim kawi me wonom. Hesi maikare. That land had been given to us, nise, by world maker, koroya peki. Bebam web, kakan nise koroya peki anim kawi me wonom. I means probably. As much as you want to say something's a fact, if you weren't there to witness it happening, you have to show that some way. Jesus iki, I kakan nise koroya peki anim kawi me wonom. That land had been given to us by Jesus, probably by world maker. Next sentence.
Amadi aika enkis.
In that place, I think we are. Hi, hukinuka shows you're pretty sure about this, but not 100%. Amadi, in that place. Next sentence.
Aman se wonen bei tekim uei hakan bei.
Notice she uses English take 'em away and adds the maidu ending yahakan. Amani se wolembe take 'em away yahakan. Hesi maikare. The whites now want to take that away from us. Ama, that, refers to the land, kawi. Next sentence.
Amadi kakas. Piin teetytty vonodom. Piivaak vonom.
What do you think the difference is between pim tetete wonodom and p tetete wonodom? Pim with the M on the end is an adjective describing the next word, children. Many children. But here there's no M on P. P tetete wonodom. Losing children a lot. See the difference? Kakas P wakwonom. Hesi maikare. I ended up crying for many, or I ended up crying a lot. Hukinup, a dependent clause ending in dom, can be translated with since or because. In that place, since I have lost children so much, because of that, I ended up crying a lot. Next sentence.
Amaako kanni kureises pem jakkasma.
Yakadom, hukinuka, seeming like. Hesi maikade yakasma. What seems to me? Yakasma is the same as Niki yakape. What seems to me? This is what seems the craziest to me. Amakakan craziest pem. Yakasma. Next sentence.
Nikihes kunkylem. Beityk jo miipemma donka kannik. Diknosmani. Mukiu dik waku diknosmani.
Vedic means now or then. You've seen this with be, a word that can either mean now or then in stories. With an ending e or im, it means young or new. Beta king kalem means young woman. Without any ending, though, it just means now or then. Yomi pem madon kakanik was about to or intending to doctor me. Who was about to? Nikki Heskun Kalem, my woman friend or relative. She's the subject of the sentence. Udik nosmani maki uidi. Esi maikare. When I arrived at her house. That S in adiknosmani tells us that I, that is Roxie Peconom, is the one arriving. It's a different subject from the main verb kakan, which is her woman relative. Walk adiknosmani, when I arrived crying. Walk is cry, walk adikno, arrive crying. This is a lot like we just learned that there could be two verbs, cry and arrive, stuck together. That's another way to put a prefix on. My woman relative now was about to doctor me when I arrived at her house, when I arrived crying. Next sentence.
Kakanisa. Madi. Makitui kuditui asmanisayat. Yukukdom yakatidam nik mehbodoiwano.
Mudi maki tui kadi tui asma. Hesi maikare. There on her bed where we two slept. So tui asma is tui, sleep, as or has, meaning we two, and the ma ending, which you remember is like the pet ending. Tui asma, where we two slept. It would be easier to know this is a place if she had said tui asmadi. When there's a D at the end, we can expect it to be a place. But instead, she put the D on the end of tuike, bed. She could have put the D on either word or even both. Remember that tui asma is the same as nisaki tuipe, where we two slept. Beba moyep, madi maki tui kadi tui asma. Nisa yahat yukukdom, shaking us too a lot, shaking us hard. Beba moyep, nisa yahat yukukdom. Ya katidom, hesi maikade. Making it seem like. Notice that T in there. Kakan nik mebodoy wono. It ended up starting to attack me. Attack or assault is mebo or mepbo. Kakan nik mebodoy wono. While it was shaking both of us hard there on her bed where we two slept, it ended up assaulting me, making it seem like it. Next sentence.
Uswalulum atijo yamniki.
Uswalulu, ghost or devil, a bad spirit. Beba moyep, uswalulu. Mati, do to someone, cause something, usually something bad. Beba moyep, uswalulu mati chayam niki. Apparently a ghost or a devil did that to me. She uses choyam even though this happened to her because she can't be absolutely sure it was caused by a ghost. She didn't see the ghost with her eyes. Next sentence.
Maakakannik bysapdom soldom Chinamaan Uninglenan Chinamaan kano awanomniki.
Besopdom, blowing evil off of someone. Bebamwayap, besopdom. Hesi maikade, China maankano uning kalenan. Go somewhere else, China maankano uning kalenan, away from this woman. China to somewhere else, uning kalenan, from this woman. Way away, uning kalenan, China maankano. Because of that, while she was blowing on me and singing, "You go somewhere else, get away from this woman," she ended up saying about me. Next sentence.
Amanikakanik soon.
Amani. Now the subject's going to change, not her friend who was just talking. Ukinuka sowono. Release. Then it ended up releasing me. Mum uswalalum. Bebamwea. Amunikakanik sowono. Next sentence.
Aitin kannik panikakas piikupem. Adomnik syttim panim pekitsi meiwana.
Hesi maikade. Pani kakas pikupem. I have a lot of tobacco. From what we learned at the beginning of this lesson, you could make P into a prefix on the word if you want, or you could write it separately. It's nice and short, having a lot. P kupem. Then she ended up giving me one tobacco package while telling me I have lots of tobacco. Next sentence.
Unipan pedom. Hesantewet honweinu pada. Honweinu maankano awonomnik.
Panpe, smoked tobacco. You see how pani, tobacco, is the object and it's joined on as a prefix? And the word for smoke is actually pe, eat. Bebamwea, panpedom. Smoking tobacco. Hesi maikade, uni panpedom. Smoking this. Hesante as a question word means how far or how long. When it's not a question, it just means far or long. Hesante wet, a long time. Hesi maikade, hesante wet, honwenu para. May you survive a long time. Or she's actually telling Roxie Peconom to live a long time. Honwe means live. Honwenu, survive. Honweinu, survive by doing something. Honweinu maankano, you will survive by doing it. By smoking this, may you live a long time. You will survive by doing it, she had said to me. Next sentence.
Udah sudomat amen pengkakas panik panpewono.
We usually think of hudasu as be drunk, but here it doesn't seem to mean that. Could it be that hudasu means something like overdoing it or overindulging? Tobacco was always part of Native culture, but you didn't have chain smoking, tobacco addiction, and all the health issues associated with that. It was for prayer and sacred moments. Huda sudomat. As for overindulging, that seems to make sense. Ma'at, which usually means maybe or even, after a dom word means as for. Huda sudom ma'at. As for overindulging, amen pem, which was not done. Kakas mumpani pan pewono. I ended up smoking that tobacco. As for indulging, which was not done, I ended up smoking that tobacco. Next sentence.
Honwein min kitabalmaan kanoa wononkakannik panimedo.
Honwe minki, your life. You will work all your life, she ended up saying when she gave me tobacco. Nik pani medom, when she was giving me tobacco. Next sentence.
Amani kakasmakum honweinudo.
Amani, with that tobacco. Hukinuka maku, turn out to be. With that tobacco, it turns out I'm surviving. Next sentence.
Kulumani tuidom kas tuikitdom. Yaham ekdakoinik. Me uyemaan kano. Hesamen kun kodo. Ama penkakas.
Kulumani, when it gets dark. Who's the subject? Who is getting dark? In English, we always say it's cold, it's raining, it's dark. But who is that it? I'm not sure we know. But in Maidu, we do know it's Kodom, the world. Or you could translate it weather. There are lots of examples in the old Tom Young stories where it says that Kodom is raining or dark, etc. When it gets dark, I'm sleeping. Tuidom kas. Tuikitdom hesimai kade. When going to bed. In this case, when I go to bed. We know the subject is I because of the kakas as the main verb of the sentence. Yaham ektakoi, nikme uye mankano. Shipley translates this as, "O beautiful morning, you will come to me." Even though this makes sense and I would like to go along with this translation, if Roxie Peconom were talking to the morning, she would have put an M on the end of ektakoi. When you're talking to someone and using the ending ma'ankano, the subject is you, and also the noun, which is the subject. In this case, ektakoi has to end in M if that's who she's talking to. Hukinuka. She goes on to say, Hesamen kun kodo, meaning a harmless world or environment. Bebam weep, Hesamen kun kodo. Again, no M on the end of kodo. Shipley translates it as if morning and faultless world are the subjects of the sentence, the subjects of the verb come to me. Uye mankano. There are 3 problems with this. Both ektakoi don and kodo, world, don't end in M, so they can't be doing the action. The second problem is with the verb uye. If you listen carefully, she's clearly saying uye, not uye. Does it really mean come? Notice the difference in stress, the accented syllable, uye and uye. I'm suspecting uye does not mean come. Uye is actually an infix that means keep on doing. Couple of examples from the old Tom Young stories. Tetete ke uye, keep on having children. Wonoti uye, keep on killing. Third problem, there's a problem with be, now. Why would she be saying now when she's lying down to sleep? Would she really want the good dawn to come now, or wouldn't she want to get some sleep first? So I'm starting to think it's not be and it's not ye. Be must be the real verb, and ye must be the infix. And be must mean something like provide. Provide me a good dawn and a harmless world. So I tried to find a word meaning something like provide and sounding like be. And what do you know? We have a word, may, give. Listening again, I realized that's exactly what she's saying. Me uye mankano, keep on giving or providing. Now, I'm telling you all this so you too can become detectives when translating from Maidu. Pay attention to the grammar. It will always lead you in the right direction. When it gets dark, I'm going to sleep. When going to bed, I can say, keep on giving me a good dawn and a harmless world. Both the good dawn and harmless world are being given. They are objects, not the subjects of the action. Makeka. Now listen again and see if you hear it.
Kulumani tuidam kas tuikitdam. Yaham ekda koinik. Me uye maankano. Hesamen kun kodo ama penkakas.
Next sentence.
Hesdimat uyomen maakasi amape.
Weo, be lacking or go without. Bebam weep, weo. Weo men makasi. Hesi maikare. I will not go without. Hesi is something or a thing. Hesi ma'at means anything. Bebam weep, hesi ma'at. Hesti ma'at, in anything. Hesti ma'at, wiomen makasi. I will not be lacking in anything. Amape, what will be said. Next sentence.
Yahati, yam tuujano maakas. Uye penkakas.
Yahati, make it safe, make it good. Very typical thing you say in your prayers. Yahati. Tuichano means wake up. Do you hear the word tui, sleep in that word? Tuichano means wake up from sleeping. Bebam weep, tuichano makas. I will wake up. Hesi maikare, yaham tuichano makas. A good awakening I will wake up to. Tuichano is a verb which can take verb endings like tuichano makas, but if you strip off the ending, it can actually be a noun, a wake up or an awakening. It's an abstract noun, something you can't really see. Did you notice the same thing a few sentences back for ektakoi? Ektakoi is a verb, to dawn. A good dawn can also be a noun when it has no ending. Now she says she will wake up to a good wake up. Yaham tuichano makas. We will learn more about abstract nouns and how to invent them in an upcoming lesson. Now, notice she says, a uyapen kukasi. Hesi maikare. I keep on saying. If you got that right, give yourself a gold star. I just introduced you to the uye infix, which is not the same as the verb uye. Uye means keep on doing. A uye pem kukasi. I keep on saying. A good awakening I will wake up to. I keep saying. Last sentence.
Kani de kuweyesi. Kani weya boskasi.
You know about kani and weyaboskas. What about weyasi? I haven't taught you this verb tense yet. This is in lesson 7 in the grammar book because it's a type of command, a command to myself. In English, we can translate it as I have to, I need to, or I ought to, with the meaning that I'm going to do it right now, like it or not. For example, you're at somebody's house and you're about to leave, you would say, "Anosi," I have to go, or I need to go. Or you might say, "Akoyas." Notice you just add S or C onto the end of the verb. Hesi maikade, kani de ke weyasi. I have to say that's just all. Here are some other examples of this verb tense from the Tom Young stories. Yapaitos min, I have to tell you right now. Yapaitos min. Akoyas, I have to leave. Asi, I have to say. Now, I believe this is where the emphasizer comes from. You know, as, that we've seen a lot of times. Sometimes it's written as asi. I am saying, I have to say. Sort of like the British, I say. Try out that translation next time you come across the emphasizer as. Now I want to talk to you about your stories. The story you're writing about something that happened to you. I'm going to assign you other types of writing in the next few lessons, but since we've been listening to native speakers talking about what happened to them, I want you to try your hand at this type of writing, something that happened to you personally. You might want to start with something like tibim pabem, when I was a little child, or tibim tem, yipem, when I was a teenager. Hukinuka Mim Gallagher would start some of her stories this way. Tibin kalempabem. Kakas, as a little girl, I did. Or you might want to start with Hoyam Kodoidi, a long time ago. Or maybe Beduk men, recently. Using the grammar book to look up any verb tenses, complex sentences, and anything else you need help with, you can always ask me what page something's on in the grammar book. I forgot to put an index in the grammar book. I'll do that when I revise it. Meanwhile, if you look in the Modern Maidu dictionary, in the back of the Modern Maidu workbook, the second column that says lesson can have the letters GRA. That means the grammar book. And a page number in the last column where to look in the grammar book to find that thing. So if you looked up could or would, it would show you what page you can find that on in the grammar book. The constructions we've been working on, like minki weape, what you said, or maida chamen mapadi, where people won't see, or tuyas ma, where we two slept, those are called relative clauses, and they are in lesson 11 in the grammar book under complex sentences, in case you need to look back. Now, I'd like you to write up your story and send it to me, either by email or on Facebook Messenger. My email address is Karen87659@yahoo.com. Now, about the Fishhead font. If you have Microsoft Word, you can install and use this font. It's actually called the Maidu font. If you look on our Facebook page, scroll down under Files, all the way almost to the bottom, because it was one of the first things I put on there. There are two font files, because one is bold and one is regular, and there are instructions how to install and how to use it. And after you install the font, when you open up Word, the Maidu font will show up on the font menu. If you don't have Microsoft Word, you can write your story using a special character of your choice for the fish head. For example, you can use the caret, which kind of looks like a fish head, and it's above the 6 on a regular keyboard. But you could also use an @ sign or anything else, and I'll know what you mean. Or if you prefer Shipley's way of writing, with the J for the Y sound and the Y for the fish head, that's okay too. If you do that though, be consistent. Don't use the Y for both the Y and the fish head. That's too confusing. If you want to write your story out with a pencil and paper, you can do that too and take a picture of it and send it to me. By writing out your story, you'll have time to really think about what you want to say and how to say it in Maidu. If you don't find a word in the dictionary, try to make one up. Then I want you to also send me your English translation of what you wrote. But don't send them together. Send them kind of separate so I won't accidentally see your translation until I'm ready. First, I'll try to figure out what you're saying without looking at your translation. And I'll translate exactly what you actually said. Then I'll look at your English translation to see what you meant to say. And then I'll send you the corrections and explanations with information to help you. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. Of course you're going to make mistakes. If you don't make any mistakes, I'm going to have you teach these classes instead of me. You'll learn more from trying and making mistakes than you will from a bunch of my classes. What you write will be confidential, and if I want to show it to somebody in the future, I will get your permission first. Now, I'm going to offer you this individual help until the end of 2024. Please take advantage of my offer and don't be shy. I'm hoping by 2025 that one or several of you will be able to take my place as far as correcting and helping the other students. I look forward to getting your stories. You've had to listen to me for months, and now, Peconom, it's your turn. I want to hear from you. One more thing. Please label your story Lesson 25 because I'm going to be assigning more writings in the next lessons, and I want to know which assignment you're doing. Hell, Yahat Bispada, Chamakasmin.